Hello. I like to start off by sharing that I stutter, and I first started stuttering when I I I was 8 years old and got speech therapy from then until my 20s, and and saw probably about a dozen different speech therapists throughout those years, and then in my late 20s was encouraged to go to grad school to become a speech therapist myself. So that's what I do for work. So if anyone has questions about stuttering, then please ask them. I try to answer every single question that I get. So type them out, and I will scroll up and then start responding. Hey, Travis, you're doing great. Thank you. Hey, dude, I have a slight stammer. You bring me hope. Do you ever change words to get them out? First off, thank you, and I'm glad that you're finding what I do useful. I substitute words sometimes. I used to do it all the time, but that was when I was far less comfortable with just stuttering and having other people hear me stutter. I've been really working on being more okay with just stuttering. And it doesn't really feel good to me to change the words that I want to say, because I would stutter on them. It feels like I'm I'm giving stuttering too much power, and then the meaning of what I'm trying to say kind of changes too, because there aren't always perfect synonyms. How has it affected relationships? Asked by a fellow stutterer. Friendships, when I was growing up and very embarrassed and anxious to talk and stutter around people, I pretended to be really shy, and I'm typically not that shy. I don't. It's probably not my default setting, but I would pretend to be a very quiet, shy person. So making friends became very tough, because I would not talk much, and it's hard to really build connections when you're not open to talking and sharing and expressing yourself. So it has been tough historically. The older that I get, and the older that my peers get, they just kind of recognize, okay, well, we all go through something, and his is stuttering. That's okay. I can be patient. So it's gotten better with age. Are you okay with some questions? Yeah, go ahead. Did you have the stutter since childhood, or is this something that happened later in adulthood? For me, I was about age 8 when I started stuttering, and we don't really know why. It just kind of happened, and I've been stuttering since then, and I'm 34 now. I have a stutter too. How do you get more confident in speaking? For me, it's just by talking more. So pushing myself to speak to more people, and do things that I don't really want to. Like, if I'm at a restaurant, rather than just pointing on the menu for what I want, I will physically say it now. And I used to never talk at restaurants. It was always either me pointing or friends or family speaking for me. So talking more and recognizing if you stutter, that's okay, because you will stutter at some point. you didn't die, you survived. So what's the worst that can happen, apart from people laugh or say mean things? That's on them. They clearly don't know what stuttering is if they say that, and they're probably going through a difficult time if they're willing to be mean. Do you find it harder to date with the stutter? I found it hard sometimes. I would always preface before meeting in person that I do stutter, that I'm comfortable to talking about it if they have any questions. Most people would say that's totally fine. Some of them, when we actually met, they were clearly not comfortable. They could not look at me. They were not comfortable with the pauses in my speech. They would try and fill it. I could not talk most of the time because I would try and say something, and then it's too much silence for some people, and so yeah. But then there were some dates that were really great, so it varies. What hair product do you use in your hair? Water. I don't. This may be gross to some people. I don't use shampoo, conditioner, soap. Though I'll put soap in it maybe once or twice a year. Yeah. Just water. Do you have a brother on this app? Yeah. Spencer Althouse is my twin. Can I ask the difference between a stutter and a stammer? Yeah, they are pretty much the same thing. It's really just that certain parts of the world will say stutter, and certain parts will say stammer. Same thing. You are doing amazing. Thank you. What are some ways that helped you with stuttering? I do have some techniques that I use when I'm not filming. They can be helpful sometimes. Sometimes they're not. But the biggest thing that's helped me is just talking more and telling myself that I will probably stutter in this conversation at some point. If I do, that is okay. And most people have been really kind and patient about it. And I think we often get in our own heads that that an interaction may go poorly, someone may laugh, and then we're less likely to do it. So if we instead go into it thinking, you know what, I have something that I want to say, I'm going to say it, then it's just way more positive. And you also feel great because you pushed yourself and did something hard. Does it impact your typing like on a computer? Nope. So stuttering just happens when we physically talk out loud. So our thoughts are not impacted at all. Our motor movements are not impacted at all. So if I read in my head, then I won't stutter. If I read out loud, then I will stutter. I can handwrite and type and text just fine. Thanks for answering my question. I love your content so much. Thank you. What letters do you have the most difficulty speaking? It's actually pretty inconsistent for me. Sometimes vowels are really tough, but I don't know if I just notice it more because in my head I'm more conscious of those vowel words. So I don't really know if I've got certain letters or sounds that are tougher, or it's just that I'm more aware of when it happens. If you decided to like stop your sentence in the middle, do you struggle with stopping? Nope. Stutterers can pretty much always stop if they're stuttering. Stopping does not necessarily reset your speech to where you can get it out without stuttering. But if you stop completely, then then your word won't come out because you stopped. Versus if you keep going, then perhaps it'll come out. Well, it will come out. It's just whether it'll happen within the next half second, or 5 seconds, or minute. What do you wish your parents did, if anything, to help you, or what did they do that helped the most? They were pretty good with my speech. They tried to learn quite a bit about it. I remember that they would read books about stuttering. they would always take me to speech therapy. They did all those nice things. I just didn't want stuttering to be part of my life at all. So I hated it and would not read about stuttering. They tried to pay me to read about it. I wouldn't. I would go to speech therapy and I would hate it, and they just kept pushing me to go. So I wouldn't necessarily change what they did, because I was a stubborn little kid who didn't want any part of it, and I don't think that their behaviors would have changed that. Do you ever get frustrated? Yeah, this sucks. I hate it. I get frustrated most every day because I've got a lot of things that I want to share and express, and I cannot do it smoothly most of the time. And many times people don't have as much patience, and so you feel like a bother and a burden, and then you're just less encouraged to talk more. So yeah, it's really frustrating. Hi Travis, can I please join your online group with stuttering people? Yeah, yeah. So if you're looking for a support group with other stutterers, then the National Stuttering Association has a website called westutter.org, and there are so many chapter meetings there. Some are in person, some are online, but they're across the United States for sure. So you just find some and reach out, and you're good. The fastest way is through keep building your confidence and making progress. Thanks. Yeah, for sure. I'm proud of you. Thank you, Jennifer. You said in a video that you can sing without stuttering. Could you show us? Yes, I'm probably this week I'm going to post a video of me talking and then singing, just to show what it's like. Don't expect a fantastic voice. I'm very mediocre when it comes to singing. And also, could you talk in that way with singing? Talk singing is actually really difficult. We can sing for the most part without stuttering, but talking, like if I'm talking and I get stuck, I can't really sing my way out of that block. It's just kind of different, and I don't really get it. It's frustrating, but it's much harder to talk sing versus sing. Great mustache. Any grooming tips? No, I just trim it every couple days. That's it. Is your stutter bad when you go out in public? It is typically more severe because I'm talking with strangers who wouldn't know that I stutter, and you're kind of always a bit self-conscious about how someone will react to your stutter. So it can be nerve-wracking, and when you are anxious or stressed or exhausted, you will more than likely stutter more as well. So yeah. I also stutter, and people make fun of me. I am sorry about that. That does not go away completely with age. However, it definitely diminishes. So good luck to you. Has it gotten better or worse over time, or about the same? The first couple years of me stuttering was not as severe as it currently is, and then probably late middle school to early high school is when it pretty much reached where I'm currently at. There are some stutterers where it does get easier over time, and then some where it gets tougher. What is the science behind stuttering? What causes it? So we don't really know. However, different factors, like the main ones, are genetics and neurological components. So differences in brain function and structure. So, for example, we have different ratios of, or maybe not quite ratios, but different quantities of white matter and gray matter in our brains, between stutterers and non-stutterers. I don't know if that is every stutterer, but it appears to be more typical. And then the genetic factor of it is it's more common for someone who stutters to have someone else in their family that also stutters. If that's a parent or grandparent or aunt or uncle. So that's a bit of the science. You're doing a great job. I'm supporting you, and you're amazing. Thank you. Have you tried speaking in another language? Yes, I stutter way more in foreign languages. Research is pretty split. Some stutterers will get stuck more in secondary languages, and some will get stuck more in their primary language. Can you also sing rap songs, since it's closer to talking, but it still has some melody? Yeah, I can. I actually will stutter more in a rap song versus an actual song. However, I can rap most of the time without trouble. Starting the rap is sometimes tougher, but then once I get started, typically I'm pretty fluent. Do you consider phrases like to take your time, or no need to be nervous as microaggressions? No, I typically appreciate when someone says a variation of no worries, to take your time. It's a signal that they recognize that it takes me longer. They won't rush me. They'll be patient with me. So cool, love that. No need to be nervous. As far as that one goes, I don't love that as much, because the assumption there is that I stutter because I'm nervous, and that's not true. So I don't love it, but will I interpret it as a microaggression? No. Most people's intent when they say that thing is typically sincere and kind and helpful. Have you ever dated a person who stutters? Yes. Yeah, she didn't stutter a whole lot. So not as much as me, but she did stutter. Yeah, she was a lovely person. I understand you. I have a vocal problem, and I feel losing my confidence in front of people. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I don't know what you're going through. So I don't want to give advice based off of the nothing that I know. But good luck, and I at least have found most people will try and be kind. So hopefully that happens for you as well. Are there any words that are more difficult for you to pronounce? So stuttering is very inconsistent. So one word that I may stutter on now, I may not stutter on the very next time that I say it. Are there words that consistently give me trouble? Yes, my own name, which most stutterers will say that their name is like their toughest word. So my name is the hardest, and then another feared word of mine is Antarctica, which comes up more frequently than you might think in conversation. Does your inner voice stutter as well? Nope. So our thoughts are stutter free. It's just when we physically to talk out loud that our voice gets stuck. So it's not an issue with our thinking. Is there a difference in a stammer versus stutter? Nope. They mean the same thing, just different parts of the world will say one over the other. Is there a sentence that you can say without stuttering, or is it so random that you cannot? There's not a set sentence that I can always say without stuttering. It's random and inconsistent. So sometimes I can say several sentences in a row without stuttering at all. Sometimes I get stuck on pretty much every single word. I also sent you courage and power. You are a very strong man. Thank you. I just stay quiet and nod when talking to someone with a stutter. Yeah, that's honestly great. Yeah, that's a sign of patience, and I appreciate that. Do you only sing songs that you memorize the text of, or can you also sing them with reading lyrics? I can also sing them with reading lyrics as well. Yeah. So singing and talking use different parts of the brain. Likewise, singing with that melody or rhythm or beat, it just helps get your words out. So there are some strategies for reducing stuttering frequency that are kind of based on singing a little bit. I have a stutter too, and it gets even worse when I'm sorry, around strangers or when I'm anxious. Yep, that is very, very typical. Same. Do you feel relief when you're able to say a full sentence without stuttering? Yeah, it feels great, and then you recognize, oh, okay, well, how did that happen, and how can that happen again, and how do I never stutter again? And it's just like, oh well, you can't really control that. But yeah, it feels great when you can get out a few sentences without stuttering, because there's no struggle or tension in your body when that happens, versus when you stutter, there's tension, your breathing is impacted, all this stuff. Yeah. I have a stutter, and I was wondering if it fades away over time. Probably not. If you make it to your teens and you still stutter, you will stutter for the rest of your life. There's no cure. I'm sure that there have been very bizarre miracle occurrences where you stop stuttering. Chances are that will not happen. Will it diminish with time? Sometimes it doesn't. So, yeah. Does your inner voice stutter as well? Nope. No, not your thoughts, just when you physically talk out loud. Does stress or excitement make the stuttering worse at times? Yeah. It's not guaranteed to, but it often does if you're nervous, anxious, stressed, exhausted. Yep. Have you tried any medication, interventions, or wearables that vibrate or keep a beat? Not wearables that vibrate or keep a beat. That seems distracting. But yeah, I've tried medications. For a while, I was hearing about anti-anxiety medications that potentially could relax your body more, which would relax your throat, which may mean that you don't stutter as much. I did not find any success with those, and side effects were definitely present, and so I think that it caused more issues than it helped or would have helped, I suppose. I'm a voice teacher with a student who was referred to me to help with their speech. Is singing a universal help? Well, not really. So most stutterers can sing without stuttering. However, when they stop singing, they will stutter again. They're a stutterer, so they will stutter. If you're a voice teacher who was referred a stutterer to help with their stuttering, I would refer out to a speech therapist. I would not try and help that person try to sing their way through their life. Their life is not a musical, and I would say it is bad practice to try and do that for someone. Now, if they want singing lessons, cool, but do not advise them that they can fix their stutter by singing. That's not the case. They can more than likely sing without stuttering, but they will still stutter when they stop singing. Why do you look so familiar? I don't know. So you could theoretically write a song about yourself to introduce yourself easier. If you sang it, then probably yeah. But when I meet someone, the last thing that I want, or what they want, I'm sure, is for me to just bust out in a song. That would be different, but I'm sure it's been done before. Not by me, though. Have you always been stuttering? When I was about 8 years old is when I started. Do people react poorly if you call it a disability? Do you consider it to be a disability? This is something I have talked about with quite a few stutterers. We all kind of view it differently. I think it is a disability in a sense because it impacts my ability to do everyday things as efficiently as most people. Now, will I get a handicap parking permit for this? No, I'm not seeking that. I don't know if others would. I think it's it's a disability, but it's a different type, different classification. Yeah, so I don't know. Do you stutter in your dreams? Always wondered about that. Yeah, I dream every night, and I stutter in my dreams every night. There's only been a handful of times when I've woken up and recognized, oh, I didn't stutter in that. That's weird. But yeah, I always stutter in my dreams. Is your mental health impacted? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it has a big toll because you are always a bit self-conscious about how you'll be perceived and in what way, and then you hold yourself back from meeting other people, and you're not as social, and making connections is tougher, and all this stuff. And yeah, you're just kind of always a bit anxious and not feeling good, and you think that you can't do things as well as most people, and so finding jobs gets tough, and then maybe different employers have these assumptions about what stuttering is, or what stutterers are capable of, and they may be false. So some people well, yeah, I'll just say that your mental health definitely can be impacted. No, not every stutterers is. Most for sure are. Do you ever pretend to stutter when you don't know how to answer something, so you could think longer? No, I'm pretty comfortable with sitting in silence. So if I need to think a little bit longer, then I'll just wait patiently while I think, or I'll tell them that I'll think about it a little bit longer. I'm pretty comfortable in silence. Hi Travis, are you a big reader? Read anything good lately? Yeah, 7 Games is a book. Oh man, I forget who it's by, but but it goes into the history of like the biggest 7 games, like checkers, chess, backgammon, Go, poker. Ooh, I forget. But just about like why we created games, where they came from, and just all about the human nature of it. I love board games. I'm a bit obsessed with playing games. So yeah. Are there situations in which you don't stutter? I'm not ever guaranteed to not stutter, unless I don't talk. If I don't talk, then I won't stutter, because there's nothing to stutter on. There are times when I may get words out without stuttering, but that's just because stuttering is inconsistent by nature. She was referred. This is for the voice teacher who was referred to see a stutterer. She was referred to me by her speech pathologist. I think more for confidence than anything, but was just curious if it was a universal help. Thanks for answering. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't advertise as this will help you stop stuttering. But singing is fun, so there's that. Maybe. Hi to my big fan, Joshua. Hello. Have you gone to a speech therapist? Yeah, I've seen probably more than a dozen at this point. I'm also a speech therapist myself. Yeah. I used to stutter. Breathing techniques and delayed auditory feedback helped me. Have you tried? Breathing techniques, yes. DAF, no. I'm not as interested in that. There seems to be enough research sharing that with time it's not helpful. Maybe there's relief in the short term, but it's also not a guarantee for every stutterer. that it will work in the first place. But not for me. Hi, I have a friend who stutters, and it worsens when she's nervous. Is this the same for you? Yeah, that is typical for stuttering in general. If we're anxious or stressed or exhausted, typically we will stutter more. Do you stutter on text as well? Nope, just when we physically talk out loud. So we can handwrite and text and whatever just fine. Okay, I've reached the bottom of the chat, so I will call it here. Thank you to everyone who sent in gifts and wrote in questions. Thank you.